Mr. Pickett, tell me, what do you consider your toughest relief assignment in this country?
Well, we have done 2 or 3 assignments in this country, but I should say that the job that Mr. Hoover asked us to do in the coal mines of western Pennsylvania and West Virginia was a difficult one. That was during the early days of the Depression, when state and federal relief was not available. And we fed through 2 winters and 2 summers. There were a good many more coal miners than would ever be employed again, and we undertook to try to retrain coal miners, thing that people often say can't happen. You can't train a miner to do anything else. But they might like to comment about that problem of the evidences we have here that they can be retrained.
Yes, we found that though they'd always done destructive work, they could be trained to do the constructive, and they made some very fine furniture. This little table was some of their work, and the ribbon-back chair here.
Chair here. It's handmade.
Has taken some 18 years of service in perfect condition.
This is the San Joaquin Valley, one of the world's biggest and most beautiful factories. It produces much of California's $3.5 billion agricultural income each year. And still, for every 10 people who plant and pick this wealth, 8 of them live in houses which lack even minimum standards of health, safety, and comfort. There were meetings every week or 2 because the success of the project depended upon the cooperation of each person in the group. Everyone had to work on every house, not just his own. So the rules for sharing this work had to be agreed upon and understood before construction started. Sometimes it seemed like the building would never start, that there'd just be more meetings and more papers. But eventually the loan approvals came through. Lots had been carefully surveyed and plan studied. The only thing left to do was dig.
Debajo de esas nos dejan, debajo de esas nos dejan, qué bonitos ojos tiene. vayan, que se aman que no iré. Soy soldado de levita, de son de caballería, de son de caballería, soy soldado de levita. Me incorporé yo a la fila.
Bertha Reese was secretary of the group. She contacted everyone about meetings and kept the minutes and records straight. Bertha and her sister, Sally Adami, were also pretty good at shingling.
Oh, yours is a picture.
Soy soldado de levita, de son de caballería.
6 new houses for 6 happy homes. Altogether, $35,000 in loans and 9,000 hours of hard work. The inspection tag was the ticket to finally move in.
When I was building it, I used to work all day, you know, and they used to yell at me, "Why don't you go eat?" And, "Oh, what are you doing there? You're living in there? You're sleeping in there?" Or what? But I was busy, you know. I wanted to get it done, you know, right away.
Hard-won houses are filled with happy homes. Gardens are planted. God's in his heaven. All's right with the world. At least part of it.
It was a strange feeling getting off that trolley in a section of the city where we had never been before. I couldn't help but wonder why we had ever come. Back at college, we'd been told we would never regret it. But as we walked up New Market Street, we really wondered. Beth Eden was the settlement house we were looking for. We were welcomed by Dave Ritchie, who originated the weekend work camps back in 1940. What causes conditions like we had seen? Are such conditions necessary or inevitable in a nation as wealthy as ours? Can this be our way out?
Yeah, we dig it the most. I see the shoes. They think they're the toughest, but not the bosses. But I don't blame them. Nothing to do. Don't look too hard, fellas. They got guns. Beat your boogie. Yeah. Everybody's on the scene.
When Carl May started Youth for Service, he realized he could work through the leaders of the jacket clubs.
At first, I went out and looked up these boys on the street. Just put it up to them. Would they help? I told them we needed them, and it worked because it was the truth. These boys are no different than the rest of us. They need to be needed. They may have had less chance than most of us to relate constructively to the community. They need the opportunity to work for status and recognition. In Youth for Service, we take them as they come. We do not judge them for anything they may have done or failed to do in the past. We ask them for help, and who can resist that?
Dan Murrow is a social worker with the American Friends Service Committee. He and his wife came here 5 years ago. Their children were born here. This street has been their life. The problems of this street, their concern. The people of the street, their family.
Oh, Italiano. Come on, man. I got some news for you.
Our cameras have followed Dan Murrow for 1 month, his last on this street.
Hi, baby.
Dan Murrow and his wife live and work in a 3-room walk-up apartment on the top floor of a converted brownstone. The American Friends Service Committee's projects house.
Daddy, 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 daddy. Daddy.
The children's room serves also as his office. For the teenagers, 111th Street is playground and living room, a place to let off steam, a place to meet. These boys call themselves the Miracles, a social club. Their leader is John Torres, a graduate of gang wars. 5 years ago, when John returned to 111th Street, there were many fighting gangs in the area. Today, there are none. But the frustrations which created the need for violence still exist.
Each small victory gives these kids the hope that they might win the larger bets. These kids have so much promise. They do so much with so little. If they had the chance to prove it, this street, this city would be a much better place to live in.
There is no end to this story. The people of 111th Street still battle the problems of their community. The work begun here 5 years ago by the American Friends Service Committee will continue under the supervision of Roy and Jean Hanston.